What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and review of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro earbuds. Now, I got these in a couple days ago, and I couldn't wait to get these guys unboxed and reviewed with you. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm very excited about these. First, before we get into the box and everything, why don't you go ahead and hit the like button here. It helps me out with the algorithm and everything, and allows me to be able to provide this type of information and reviews to a lot of other people out in our space here on YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. First, we're going to talk price and specs. These come in, as far as price goes, they come in at $249.99. That's right, $250. They come in colors black, white, and pink. They have a pink color, but that's only available on Samsung.com. So it's not one of the ones that you can go pick up at the store, and it's exclusive there. So as far as specs go, they rock Bluetooth 6.1 with codec support of AAC, SBC, and SSC, which is Samsung Seamless Codec. You got LC3 with Aircast support. And of course, SSC allows up to 24-bit 96 kilohertz audio, so you get that high-res audio there. And now the SSC is for all your Samsung devices. If you're rocking like I am with the Z Fold 7, I got the Tab S11 Ultra, things like that, you will be able to use that SSC codec and get that high-res audio. And of course, if you have a device that supports LC3 and with Aircast, then you are also in good shape there as well. As far as noise canceling, they rock an adaptive ANC 2.0 version technology there. As far as batteries go, with noise canceling turned on, you get up to 6 hours of playback time. If you include the case with that, you get up to 26. You get 26 hours. With noise canceling off, you get up to 7 hours. When you include the case, you get 30 hours. Now, they didn't mention anything as far as fast charging from the case. From the case, I didn't see anything written about that. But once I do find that out, I will pin it in the comment section below so you guys can all see it. They do offer wires. They do say wireless charging for the case is available. So we got that. As far as water resistance rating, they rated at IP57, dust and water resistant. And as far as features go, these guys rock enhanced two-way driver. You have an 11mm super wide woofer and a 5.5mm planar tweeter built in. You got 6 mics for noise canceling and clear calls. You got improved ergonomic fit, personal AI translation. So you on the fly, if you're somewhere you need it'll automatically translate for you, which is great. You got head gesture controls, touch controls, multi-point connectivity, and app support for Android and also iOS. So let's go ahead and get in this box. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Got that one. Got that one. All right. Let's pull this up. See what we got underneath. This looks like this will be our information. Oh, no, this is everything. Okay. Looks like what we got here. Looks like this could be ear tips. Yep, we got our ear tips because I did get the white ones, so they're matching. All right, and what else we got in here? We've got our books and information. We're going to put that in there so it don't get lost. Okay, that's underneath the lid. Let's go ahead and pull these out. Ooh, that's nice. Let's see if there's anything else. No. All right, no USB, no USB-C cable for charging, but that's okay. We can deal with that later. So let's go ahead and get these open. All right, let's see. Get this out. These are in there. I'm trying to keep everything pristine, if you can see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I just got tired. All right, and here we go with the white, completely new design. I like it. Got the brush, looks like a brush aluminum on there. Let's take a walk around the case real quick. We got the Samsung branding here. I don't know if you can see it on that white with the lights here, but it's a Samsung here. You got your charging LED on the front. You got your USB-C charging port and your pairing button here on the back. Oh, that looks good. Let's go ahead and crack that open. Let's get it open. There we go. Those look good. I am very, very impressed with this design. Let's pull one of these out. Already, I've got my phone, my monitor, my Samsung monitor. Already picked them up. Talking about new Buds to found. Let me go ahead and get that cleared off of there. All right, we close that. I'll deal with that later. But I got the Samsung monitor, so it automatically picked them up as soon as I pulled this one out of the case. But look, I like that look. I like that design. Let's see. I got the Buds4 Pro here, so let's go ahead. We're gonna pull one of these and take a, so you can see the difference in design between the two. Let me grab that. All right, as you can see, we had like the sharp edges and the blade type of form or design with the LED here. You do not have it here on the 4 Pros, but I do like the change. I like the change in design. Whoops, I'm throwing them all over the place. I do like the change in design with the 4 Pros. I like the way they went about it. All right. A little thick stem. I just can't hold these things. I don't know. I'm just trying to be real careful with them. I don't know why. It's not like they're glass or anything like that. But, man, they just look really good. And, again, I like the way they went and changed also the case and how they sit in the case and make contact for charging. Because I did notice, and I don't want to make this about the Buds4 Pro, but my right earbud, if I just set it in there, sometimes it wouldn't recognize the charge. I had to press a little bit, and then it would show that it was charging. I ran into that a little bit with these ones, but once I got that situated, these are golden. I love these. I usually keep these upstairs in the bedroom. So if I want to watch something on my phone or something, I have these already at the ready on the charger, so I can just grab these and pop these in and go on about my business. But now we got some new boys in town. I don't know. I don't know. They just might be out of a job. Again, I love how they stayed with the clear case cover. Similar again yet to the Buds4 Pro. I absolutely love that. And again, I like the way they went ahead and totally revamped the design on these. These look so good. Let's go ahead and put these in. See, there's my monitor again. Every time I take them out, we're not connecting right now. Back off. All right, so let's go ahead and put these in so we could take a look at them on. All right, we got them in. Let's go ahead and flip the camera so you guys can see. All right, this is what they look like on. Again, very comfortable. I more likely will go up to the large ear tip on these. But yeah, very comfortable already. Very similar feel to me as actually a little bit more comfortable. Just a tad bit. You could than the Buds4 Pro. The Buds4 Pro, very comfortable earbuds. I have no problems with them. Again, I'll listen to, have them upstairs in the bedroom. But yeah, very, very nice. Definitely. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get these guys paired up to the phone, and we're going to take a look at their settings, and then we're going to do some testing. Stay strapped in. All right, let's go ahead and get these guys paired up. We got my Z Fold 7 on deck. Let me roll my sleeves up a little bit. All right, let me go ahead and unlock this. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and get these guys opened up. Boom. Automatically pairs. I hear the chime from my monitor over there. Knock it off. We are not connecting to you right now. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get it connected. Very nice. All right, we got the volume slider. We are up. Let's see what we got here. We've got some permission sets. All right, let's see. Yep, privacy. Yeah, let's do it. All right, there we go. Okay, apps allowed. Yep, they even named them for me already, so I ain't got to worry about that. All right, some other stuff we can go ahead and allow it. All right, so all right, show you where you got the controls. Looks like they're squeeze controls. I like the sliding controls that we had on the Buds 3 Pro. I do like that. And you got the head gestures and everything. You're all set. All right, so we're in. So we can see we're gonna go ahead and jump into the Wear. See, the Wear app doesn't have it, so we got to go into the settings. Let me open this up. We'll go into the settings. I don't know why they went and did it that way. Let's go in here. Let's go to details. All right, let's go ahead and hit Pro. Now we're in their settings. I don't know why they reverted it to the settings option in your phone instead of the Wear app. But anyway, I digress. All right, so here we go. We got a picture of the earbuds at the top. We got the battery level of both left and right. Let's see if we take them out. Let's see if they go separate. Let's take them out. Okay, so if I take them out of the case, they don't show you the case battery. Understood. So now you still got left, right at 100%. Let's see if we sit them back in. Okay, now it gives me the case. All right, so now you got the case there. All right, we got some options here that we can do. You can test your earbuds and also other tips and stuff. Then moving on down, you got your noise control options. You've got off rather. You got ambient sound. You must have the earbuds in. Let me see. Let me see if I take them out of the case. Will it let me switch? Okay, so you got to have them on. So let's go ahead. We'll put these in real quick just so we can cycle through the ambient sound stuff. All right. Automatically, you put them both in. They automatically jump to noise canceling. All right, so you got off. You got ambient sound. Then, of course, you got your toggle to allow, ambient sound volume. You can let as much in, as much out as you want. You got adaptive. I normally don't use adapters. Either I'm having ambient sound or I'm having active noise canceling. And again, you got your slider there to switch off and on too. All right. And then auto switch to ambient sound. That's like if you're getting a phone call. You can do that. Let me see. Voice detection, siren. Use ambient sound during phone calls. Yes, I'll turn that on. All right. And so then, of course, you got your earbud controls. We go ahead in. You got multimedia, your media controls, left, right. You can switch noise controls on. And you got your call and everything, answering in calls. And then you got your decline calls option. So we'll figure that out. We'll work on them. We know we always test all this stuff. You got your voice controls as well. You can set that up. I don't want you to wake up Bixby. No. All right, so you can do voice controls to wake up Bixby. I'm gonna turn on voice commands. Yeah, we can turn that off. You can do voice commands to it as well. You can set up the Google Assistant. I'll do that a little later on because that's what I prefer to have over Bixby. You got your head gestures. You can turn that off and on. And, of course, your head gestures allow you to operate them by, like, nodding your head or anything like that. It looks like my Lakers won. Excellent. All right. You got your sound quality and effects. It's where you can go in. You can turn on 360 audio. You got your equalizer. And you got your 10 band. And then you can do custom if you want. You got all different settings. We'll play with that a little bit as well. Then, of course, you got your loudness normalization. You got app sound settings you can set up for certain apps and how they sound. You got adjust sound to fit. And, of course, you got advanced quality options where you can use ultra high. And then, of course, super wide bands for speak for when you're talking. Then, of course, you got adapt sound if you want that. So you got that option there. These is fully loaded for it to be in the app or inside the settings. This is fully loaded. I like that. You can manage your connections. This is for like if you have multi-point connectivity and stuff. And then, of course, you got advanced features there where you can go in. You can read notifications, in-ear detection. I always like to keep that on during calls. While playing media, you turn that on too because I always want to make sure we play pause. Let me see. What's that during calls? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I had to read that. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss that. And you got labs. And you got gaming mode. You could turn that on if you want. Turn that off. I like the fact that they brought that in there. Then, of course, you got your accessibility for those who like hearing impaired and stuff like that. You can go ahead and switch the balance to sound depending on which ear needs more volume than the other one. You got noise controls and all the other things you need for a hearing, again, hearing impaired. You got Find My Buds. You can run diagnostics. You got listen to audio broadcast if you want. Very nice. Back up. All right. Then, of course, you got the software update. You can check that. I don't know if I hit that, but we'll come back to that. All right. We're up to date anyway, so we're good. All right. Then you got your tips and user manual. Then you got about. And, of course, down here, you can rename it. You can disconnect it, or you can completely unpair it from the phone. Let's see what we got here. I'm just going to put earbuds at the end of that. Rename. Done. All right. So now we are good to go. This is, again, for it to be inside the settings and not inside the actual Wear app, which I would like it, or which I would prefer it to be. This is a very well fleshed out, feature packed app for these guys. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. We're going to put these guys in ambient mode for right now, but man, I really, really like it. I mean, I liked it with the Buds Pro 4, the Buds 3 Pro, sorry. But going in, it looks like they added a few more things for the Buds 4 Pro, which is pretty cool. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and get some testing done. Very excited to get this in. So let's get started. All right, we're back in. What we're going to test now is the multi-point connectivity feature of the earbuds. We already know we have them connected here to my Z Fold 7. And you can see there, they're already connected, ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and turn off the Bluetooth option on the Z Fold 7. And we're going to put these guys back in the case and get these guys to pair again. All right, so we're going to try and get it paired up to the S11 Ultra, Tab S11 Ultra here. Boom. All right, recognizes them. So we're going to go ahead, and I love that little animation like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make sure these guys are connected. There they are. You can see it right here. So we're going to go back over to the Z Fold 7. About to call it a Tab Fold 7. I don't know why, but I was going to. All right. And you can see it's ready to connect already. So we are good to go on both fronts. We got to connect it here to the phone and connect it here to the tablet. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and put these guys in. We're going to pull up some audio. And we're going to test auto switch on these after we test the multi-point. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Sorry. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and pull up some content here. All right, we got that. All right, we're going to pause that for a moment. Let's pull up more content here. Let me see. What are we going to do? We do shorts. Let's back up. All right, let's grab this one here. All right, we got that there. All right, so now we'll go ahead and hit play on the phone. You see how it says is switched from the tablet to this cell phone. So now we're going to go ahead and hit play directly on the tablet. Now it's switched. Now it's asking me to reconnect to the phone if I want to. It's told me switch to the Tab S11 Ultra. So then, all right, so if I go ahead and hit play here, now it's connected and it's telling me over here that it's switched to the phone. I love this. So now I can always pause it and then hit play over here, and it's the switches. So Multipoint works, and I love their auto switching feature as well. It does a really, really good job. Man, this is great. Let's continue. All right, next up is we're going to see the mono mode and in-ear detection test for the Galaxy Buds 4 Pros. Right now, we got our video up. We're going to go ahead and hit play. All right, we got audio playing. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to see how fast the in-ear detection sensor pauses this audio, and if we can listen to one while the other one is in the case charging. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with the right earbud. Very quick, less than a second. I'm going to put this back in real quick. All right, and let's go ahead and hit play again. We're going to try it one more time. All right, removing it. This is the right earbud. Okay, but yeah, less than a second, and it took it out, and it paused the audio. So let's go ahead and drop that one in the case. We're going to close it. We're going to hit play. Audio is playing out of the left earbud. All right, so let's go ahead and take this back out. We're going to plug this back in. All right. All right, now we got audio playing out of both, so we're going to go with the left. All right, just about a second, maybe a little less. Okay, but it still worked the same way on the left, so we'll go ahead. Now, I put that one, well, I must have touched the thing, so let's go ahead and do it again, because I put that one in the case and the audio started playing again. So let's do that one more time just to make sure we're clear. All right, audio went and played immediately. That's interesting. All right, let's go ahead, pull out. All right, it's paused. You can drop that in the case, close it. Okay, so it must have been me touching the sensor that triggered the play pause feature. All right, so now let's go ahead and hit play. Now we got audio playing out of the right earbud. Now that means that you can listen to one while the other one individually while the other one's charging the case, basically doubling your battery life on the earbuds. Very nice. And I like the fact that the in-ear detection sensor is almost instantaneous. We'll pause it in less than a second. That's always good. Let's continue. All right, we're back in. What we're going to do now is the touch control test. Actually, they're pinch controls for the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. So we got our music up. I'm going to put myself in the box here. All right, so you guys can see me actuate the functionality, and you can see it take effect on the phone. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we got Run DMC up on here, so we're gonna go ahead and hit play. All right, now we got audio playing. So now on left and right earbud, you could do all these functions with the exception of the pinch and hold. All right, you can set that up differently. So on the left earbud, if I single pinch rather, it pauses the audio. Same thing on the right. If I single pinch, my audio will play. All right, so now if I double pinch, it will take me to the next song. So 1, 2, see, it took me to the next song. Now if I triple press or pinch, it will take me back to the previous song or to the beginning of this one if I listen to it long enough. 1, 2, 3. It took me back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm back to the previous song. All right, so now when you want volume, you can slide up and down the beam or your arm here on either one. I'm sliding up and my volume's going up. I slide down, the volume's going down. The same thing for the right. Slide up, volume's going up. Slide down, volume is sliding down. It's going down. So that works. All right. I thought I had someone over my shoulder. Sorry. Okay. So now If I want to press and hold, or pinch and hold rather, as they call it, on the left, I pinch and hold, it's going to call up my voice assistant. What's the weather for today? Okay, now it's talking to me. I didn't get to answer the question. So let's try that again. What's the weather for today in Washington, D.C.? I should have said Washington State, but I digress. Not bad. All right. And if I press and hold on the right, so that works. If I press and hold on the right earbud, it's going to cycle me through my noise controls, rather. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little losing my words here. All right. So if I press and hold on the right, see it switch me over to noise canceling. So let's go and press and hold again. Took me back to ambient sound. So it all works flawlessly. My thing is how long will the pinch and hold option work? Because I did have some earbuds where all of a sudden the pinch and hold function stopped working on one of them. I think it was one of my Soundcore headphones, earbuds, that has the pinch and hold. Like the right one just stopped working. The pinch function just completely quit. But hopefully they've tested that. But it seems to be working flawlessly now. No complaints. Let's continue. This is a mic test with the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds in a quiet location. This is a mic test with the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds in a crowded location. This is a mic test with the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds in a crowded location. All right, we are out for an ANC test with the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds. And you see, we are at a really busy intersection. We got a lot of ambient noise here with a lot of traffic. Wind is light, so I don't think that's going to have any effect on our testing here. But as you can see, we got a lot of traffic and everything coming. We turn this way so you can see the intersection behind me. All right, so we got a lot going on, a lot of sounds. Right now, I am currently in transparency mode. Let me make sure I got that up for you, or it's called ambient mode. Sorry, basically the transparency mode. So I am on that, and I can hear everything just as clear. All the traffic, I heard the big rig, dump truck, that word? Yeah, that's a dump truck. Yeah, I heard that. That one was going through, sound just as clear. We got the, what's that, a Subaru with that's a Subaru with a big muffler. Can you hear that too? I know you guys are picking it up here on the microphone as well. Again, I said there's a slight breeze. It just blew right across me from left to right. But yeah, it sounds just as clear as if, just about as almost as if I'm not wearing anything. So they really stepped up the game on the transparency side. So what we're going to do now is, let me get back in. We'll go ahead and we're going to turn on active noise canceling. All right, we got active noise canceling turned on. I don't know if it's because, let me turn it this way because of the sunlight. All right, so we got active noise canceling turned on, and it did get a little quieter. Is it completely blocking out all the sound? No. All right, but it did tone it down a lot. And you say, yeah, I'm making sure I'm locked in. Yeah, I'm locked in. No problems there. But yeah, it did quiet it down a bit. It's not to blocking out all the sound, like I said, but it did get a lot quieter. And yeah, that's basically all I got for it right now. I mean, it's a good thing? Yeah, it's a good thing. Is it the best? No. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a more improved noise canceling, especially coming off of the Galaxy Buds4 Pro. I thought we'd be improving on that. But again, not blocking it out at all, like completely blocking it out like the Sonys, the Bose, that come to mind right off the top of my head. But it did get a lot quieter. I'm quite sure that truck with the loud motor, with the loud muffler and everything, I'm quite sure it is really loud if I had these in ambient sound mode. So again, not blocking out everything, but just definitely deadening everything. Actually, you know what? We have an adaptive setting on here. Let's go into adaptive. All right. All right, we switched it to adaptive, and I'm not hearing any difference. I'm not hearing any difference in that case. All right, we're gonna turn on. I just noticed that my noise canceling level was not at max. So I put it at max now. So we're correcting that right here on the fly. And it got even a little bit quieter than it was before, but still not blocking out sound. All of it. It's not blocking out 100%. So I did make that correction on the fly. And like that truck right there that just pulled off, I can still hear that. Is it as loud as it would have been in ambient sound mode? No, but I still heard that. All right, so two things. One, I did switch out and go put the larger ear tips in for this test. I think I get a better seal with them. And two, I am not listening to any audio at the performance of this test. This is strictly the strength of the noise canceling in the earbuds for this portion. All right, so now if I had to rate these between 1 and 10, 1 being the absolute best ever and 10 being, 1 being trash, being the worst ever, and 10 being the best, I would give these a 7. Yeah, I'll give these a 7 and be comfortable with it. Again, doing a lot of knocking down of sounds, tampering them down, but not canceling them out completely. So yeah, 7 would work with these. All right, so this has been the ANC test for the Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro earbuds. All right, next up is the sound test. We are in the app, or actually in the settings of my phone. We got the settings for the Buds 4 Pro all set up. We're gonna go ahead and get into sound quality and effects. We'll go into the equalizer setting. Let me back up real quick. As you can see here, they have 360 audio, but we do have that turned off for right now. We're just going to use that. We'll test that in a little bit with some movie or something and see how it sounds with that 360 audio. But right now, we're just going to focus on let me see, on the EQ and everything. Let's see what app setting. Okay, that's different. All right, so we jump in here, and as you can see, it's set to, zeroed out, balanced as they call it. We got a bunch of other presets. I'm quite sure if you have a Samsung phone, you are familiar with these. You got balance, you got bass boost, smooth, dynamic, clear, treble boost, and then we got custom. All right, so we can go ahead and set that up if we'll play with it. All right, we'll play with it. All right, so we already got our song picked. We already got our song queued up, rather. So let's go ahead. We're gonna get these guys to my optimum listening level. They're already there. So let's go ahead and pop these in. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get the video camera flip, and we're gonna put the table in the box here. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off in balance, and then we're gonna move around the presets and see which one sounds better, and then we're gonna land on one. Maybe even we'll do a custom as well. So we're gonna see which one I'm gonna go with the Buds 4 Pro. Quick note: I did switch out the ear tips. I am using the larger ear tip, the large ear tip rather. That's in the box. So I did go ahead and do that. Swap that out earlier. I had it swapped out for the ANC test as well. So we just kept it, and we're going to keep going like that. So let me go ahead and pull up our music. All right, our first song, Dominic Feels I Me, Feeling Good, acapella song. We're going to see how these guys sound. Again, we're in balance EQ setting right now. So we're going to flip through throughout the testing here. So here we go. All right. All right, nice sound, nice clarity. All right, now okay. Background vocalist sound clear. Actually, you know what? Do I even have noise canceling turned on? Let me put the noise canceling on. I normally have that on. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, getting all the nuance and everything, her breathing. Again, with the inhale and the exhale. All right, I'm going to check one more thing. Again, I'm getting clarity. I'm just checking on something real quick. I want to make sure that we are using, yes, we are using the SSC. All right. So we are using Samsung's codec. All right. Just wanted to check that. Sorry. I should. All right. I like the clarity here, but let's go back. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll get back into audio settings. I'm sorry, I had to go ahead and check that. I should have checked that before, but I didn't. Okay. A try and treble boost here. Nice. Okay. Bass boost. You can tell the depth, how deeper it sounds. Let's go smooth. Okay. Let's go dynamic. I like dynamic. I like that one. Almost like the V shape, but I like the way that sounded so far. So I'm thinking dynamic might be the one to go with, but we'll play around. All right. There's clear. Okay, more to the mids on this one. So they lowering, as you can see, they lowering the bass and leveling out the highs. Okay. Okay. It's just like balance. Going to cut. We ain't done anything with custom yet, but we will. All right. Sorry about that on the first song. Some things came. I should have checked before I went into the segment, but I didn't. But I wanted to check it anyway. So we are using the SSC, which is Samsung's codec. Their proprietary codec gives you that high res audio for the earbuds, for their proprietary not proprietary, but for their own earbuds and stuff. So I just wanted to check that and make sure we was using that and not like AAC or something. All right, let's go ahead and grab our bass song, You and That, T-Pain, or excuse me, E40 featuring T-Pain and Candy Girl. Very nice. I like that bass. Now we're in balance right now. Nice punch. The fade out cuts a little bit too soon for me. Let's go with bass boost. Yeah, it cuts out a little bit too soon for me. But I like the how smooth the bass stump is on this, even in balance mode. All right, let's go ahead and do custom. Let's go ahead and play. All right, we'll go with the V shape, but we're not going to go max on this. We're not going to max. I like the response that I'm getting from my EQ changes. Okay. So this is what we rocking with. I'm going to flip the camera real quick. All right, this is my EQ setting that I think I'm going to stick with these. This is my custom. All right, so we're going to compare that to everything else. All right. Okay. I like the bass punch. Again, the fade out cuts too soon. So let's go to dynamic. I like it, but it sounds like it's a little lower volume wise. Yeah, I like that. Let's try smooth. Yeah. Clear. Yeah, that's leaning more to the mids in this one. Yeah. I like this. We're gonna stick with this my EQ setting, my custom setting here. I think that's the better one out of all of these. But I love the bass. We're gonna stick there. Let me pause this. I like the bass on this. The vocal clarity was nice and clean. T-Pain. Actually, you know what? Let's back this up a little bit. Let me back this up. Let's turn this up a little bit. Yeah, okay, even at a higher volume level. Okay. Like that bass response. But it doesn't, even at the higher volume level, it's not losing integrity. No distortion or anything like that. The vocals also not losing its integrity and stuff. No spike in the auto tune. No distortion sounding. No high pitched sound. It sounds really, really clean. All right. Now we got, again, vocalists sound nice and clear all the way through. All right. The only thing I can see wrong, or hear wrong rather, not wrong, but I hear is the bass fade out. Like I always said, I mentioned this already, but I'm gonna say it again. I like the bass fades out all the way out. This one cuts. I thought even at the higher volume level, you could at a higher volume you could definitely tell when the bass fade out goes. You can exactly tell. You can tell it cuts short. I thought it would go all the way out, like again, ripples in a pond. Like I always say, that's how I like my fade outs to go. But ripples in a pond, and I thought it was going to do it, and then it cut, and it was like a letdown for me. But I liked, again, everything else about this song. On this song, I liked where they're going at with this. I just I don't know. I just got to pull a little bit more clarity, a little bit, not clarity, but more of the hot mids and highs out of these earbuds. I got to find a way to do that because they come out of the box warm sounding, more leaning towards the bass end and everything. And again, the bass sounds smooth, but I want a little bit more of the mids and highs to come through, be a little bit more clearer to match that bass. And I think we got something going there if we can do that. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna pick up another song. Sure. All right, you know what? Let's do some Guns N' Roses here. Let's do that. All right. Now again, start off with that crisp solo. Very crisp. Again, I like the fact, and I got the second guitar in my right ear, got the drums. Oh yeah, here we go. Now it's picking up. All the other instruments are coming in. Sounds good. Sounds good. That's kind of dynamic. Yeah, it loses something. So we can go back to custom. That sounds good. I'm going to try something. I know I said we're going to try 360 audio with the bass, with the band. That sound stays widened out. Very clear. Very nice with this type of song, with this genre of song. This genre of music, rather. Yeah, 360 audio works. All right. Yeah, that works. All right. All right, let's go back to our bass song here. I just need to test this. I need to test it because it sounds so good with the 360 audio and the rock band and everything like that, because it's just opened up the sound stage and it just sounds really good, really good. So let me see how it does here. Okay. All right. All right, let's turn it off. Okay. You can tell the difference in bass. Let's turn it back on. Yep. Widening out the soundstage weakens. I ain't going to say weakens, but turns down the intensity of the bass. I mean, I'm still getting a good thump and rumble and everything, but it's doesn't have that intensity as it is when you close in, and I guess close in the soundstage, if you will, for the lack of a better term. But I like that. I like that. All right, just wanted to test that with the 360 audio. I mean, with Guns N' Roses, that band, it sounds fantastic. We're gonna play with that just a little bit more on the music side of things. We're gonna go ahead and turn that on again. 360 audio. No, we do not have head tracking turned on because I don't want it on. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play some Lenny. Let's play some Lenny with that on. I bet that rocks. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Again, Lean's a little warm, but overall sounds good. You know, you got that band and guitar rips. That sounds, yeah, I absolutely like that. I know it's good for certain songs. Very clear. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. All right. That type of song, your pop rock songs, with that 360 audio, that it just works. It just works, especially with these earbuds. It just works. I mean, what else can you say about it? All right. Let's go ahead and pick up some other songs and test them out. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna leave. No, we're gonna turn 360 off. We're gonna go back to how it should be. I just needed to test it. I'm sorry, but I wanted to test it with certain songs, and it paid off for me. All right, so let's go ahead and where are we at? I'm just looking for a particular one. Where's it at? There we go. Is that Pony? No, that's not the one. Yeah, that's one Pony. All right, we're going to try Pony now by Werenoi. All right, right off with the piano. Clear. Vocalist sounds nice and clean. Good bass rumble. Oh, and it gets deep too. Like it. All right, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with these so far. I mean, I got to find a way to get them a little bit cooler sounding. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Because I don't want to lose the bass, but I want the vocals to be a tad bit clearer. Well, that bass hit and drop is nice. And you got that constant low rumble. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that just sounds really good. I love that deep, how the bass drop sounds deep and everything. Oh, my app is acting up here. Well, that's not cool. So now I got to go back in. I don't know what happened there, but it started to act up. All right. Let's grab one more song. Let's go here. This is a one we haven't listened to. Old Money, Lana Del Rey. This one we're going to put in I liked it. Okay. Vocals. I like that piano in the back. It's been a while since I used this one. So let's go ahead and turn 360 audio on. Oh, that definitely improved it. Widening out the soundstage improved that one. I like it. That piano even sounds like it's got a more space. All right, now we got the string instruments coming in, the cello, some violins. That cello hitting that D chord. Nice little rumble there. This is nice. Yeah, and now we got the background vocalist in. I'm sorry, I was focusing on the song. My bad. But again, with that wider soundstage, this sounds really, really good. I just had to wait until I got some of the background vocalists in, and it really filled out the soundstage. I mean, man, again, certain songs, 360 audio works. Like if you're dealing with stuff that songs that where they're not bass intensive, you can get, again, like your bands and like this one with the instruments in the background. 360 audio is the way to go. Give them that wider sound stage. Works fantastic. Some bass songs does do a really good job with that wider sound stage, but not many because of how not compact, but I guess compact would be a good word. The soundstage is, which gives your bass that little bit, that more aggressive punch and everything. So, and this stuff I've learned by doing this. Doing a lot of these videos, I learn a lot when it comes to audio. All right, so let's go ahead real quick, and we're going to grab just one more song. I know I've had this video going long enough, so we're going to grab this one last song. We'll go with Home by Kenny G. Now, we do have 360 audio still turned on, okay? Nice crisp high keys, good transition to the low keys with that low sound. Very nice. Oh, that saxophone just sounds like silk. Well done, Samsung. Man, that just sounds so good. Very clear. I'm enjoying this. And again, we got 360 audio turned on, so you got such a wide space. Great balance between the keyboard and the saxophone. I'm so focused on this video, on this music. I'm sorry. And I'm very worried about them low tones, but they are being represented or giving you a good punch. They didn't melt into the song, which is really good. Them low keys, that's a good detail there. I'm sorry, I was just into the song and focusing on it. But, man, these are really good. Again, that 360 audio with certain songs is choice. It is very choice. We're going to go ahead and turn that off for right now because, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll leave that on. Let's go ahead and grab a movie real quick. Let's see how it sounds with 360 on, and we're going to go ahead and play. You know what we going for. All right. Yes, sir. Star Wars it is, baby. All right, so let's go. Which one we want to go with? Let me see. Do we want? Yeah, let's go. Sure. Is this an ad? Let's see what's going on here. It got so dark. Oh, we did solo. Did I pick solo? I did pick solo. Let's go back. No, we don't want solo. No disrespect to solo. I like that movie. But I want episode 4. All right, here we go. All right, rate in. Yeah. All right, now I have, let me see. Yep, 360 audio is turned on. All right. Ooh, I like the sound. All right, we about to get some heated firefight here. Here we go. I love the score on this too. Sounds great. Oh, yes. Oh, this sounds good. Oh. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna be watching this with these and with 360. We'll doing that later. I just wanted to hear this with some laser fire, some sci-fi stuff going on. These sound great with 360 audio on. I mean, for movies, absolutely without question, you want to do it with movies. Now, again, with some songs, yes. Some of them most likely you don't want to, like your hip hop songs. Definitely your hip hop songs where they're bass head intensive. You might want to keep 360 audio turned off, so you keep that that compact sound stage gives your bass that punch that you want. I still got some tweaking to do to try to find that happy medium between where I got the nice crisp vocals and everything, and keep that smooth, clean, deep sounding bass when I'm listening to like my hip hop songs and stuff. Other than that, with your instrumentals, your pop, rock, your golden 360 audio. Without it, good. With it, better. All right, so let's go ahead and get into my likes and dislikes of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back to this movie. All right, let's go ahead and talk about my likes and dislikes of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 4 Pro earbuds. Let's start with my dislikes, and there's really not too many things I don't like about them. Only thing I could say is I wish that the noise canceling was better. I think, yeah. And I wish I'm still trying to figure it out how I can get them to sound a little cooler, or instead of make the mids and highs come out a little bit more clearer, a little bit more crisper on it. I'm still working on it, but as of right now, they lean more to the warmer, the low end side of things. But I'm trying to find that happy medium where I'm getting the best of both worlds. Other than that, let me see. That's about it as far as what I could, as far as my dislikes. Now, the one thing I'm concerned about is the pinch, the pinch function on these, because like I said, I've had earbuds that did have that pinch function. I think it was the Liberty 4 Pros or the Liberty 4s. I think it was the Liberty 4s, where they the pinch function on my right earbud stopped working. And that's the only thing when it comes to these pinch options on here that worry me, is because it would the possibility of something within the stem malfunctioning and your pinch function doesn't work on one of your earbuds. That's the one thing that worries me about about the whole thing with the pinch functions. So I'm not gonna call that a dislike. I'm not even gonna call that a like. That's considered a concern of mine. Hopefully, having these in, and I have no problems with that long term. But that's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on. All right, and I think, I think that pretty much covers. Oh yeah, one more thing I did. No LDAC usage on here. You're going strictly with the proprietary Samsung codec for high res audio. I mean, they geared it more towards just your Samsung products like my Z Fold 7 here, my Tab S11 Ultra, things like that. I really wish they would use like LDAC, so it wouldn't matter what Android device you use, you still get a high res codec for these. These are again more geared more towards using them with Samsung products. I don't understand why they went that route, or I don't understand why they didn't add that LDAC feature on there and allow you to choose between them. That would have been pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and flip over to my likes. First of all, I like the redesign. I'm on board with it 100%. Like the comfort, especially when I switched over to the large ear tip, even more comfortable. I did have my worries about the pinch controls, but I like the response that I'm getting so far when I do actuate functionality. I like the fact that I usually harp on the fact that you have some of the content, some of the functionality you cannot manually adjust or manually change. But I like the fact that even though you can't manually change it, you do have some primary functions that are embedded into each earbud. So say, for instance, like the play, pause, skip, reverse, volume controls. You have that set in both left and right earbud. I can't complain about that. I actually like that idea. If you're going to make it where you cannot adjust, you cannot manually change or manually configure your touch controls, give all the touch controls to each earbud. Don't take them away and everything like that. Only this one can do this one while this one can do that. No, give us them all. Give us all of them. And then, of course, the triple press, you allow us to choose it per earbud. And that's it. You got your volume up, volume down, play, pause, and your skip and reverse tracks. I like the way they did it, and I like I said, I usually harp on that, but this setup, this configuration, the way they got it done, I'm on board with that 100% because it doesn't matter which earbud I'm using, I still get the same controls, and it's pretty much a full control of what I'm looking for, or what I'm doing. Because normally I'm either turning up the volume, turning down the volume, play, pause, skip, and reverse. Those are your more commonly used controls. So both earbuds should have them, and you got that right here. Let me see. Like I said, I already talked about the noise canceling. Let me say, as far as sound, multi-point connectivity, I like that. Mono mode, I like that. I like that, of course. And the in-ear detection is pretty much almost automatic. You gotta love it. I like how quickly it responds to taking one earbud out. I love how the auto switching is remarkable. Again, this is more based towards the using them with Samsung devices, but I'm quite sure if you're using it with like a Google Pixel phone or a nothing phone, the auto switching will still work for you in those with those devices there. But I like the fact that they have that in there. Let me see, anything else before I jump into sound? I think that covers everything. All right, so let's dive into the sound of these. I do like how the natural volume of them. I got no problem with that. Don't have to turn them up at all. They did do the inverse of the Buds4 Pro rather, whereas the dynamic preset sound much better than the customized setting. I don't know, but for some reason when you went into, at least on my pair, when I went into from the preset to the custom setting, it sounded like I lost volume. But these ones, your volume is boosted when you use a custom, and I like that. I do like dynamic. Dynamic would be my number 2. If a preset, if I wouldn't go with custom, I would go with dynamic. I think I like that one as far as overall sound. So I like the fact you got a bunch of options to choose from, including custom. So if we talking about strictly sound, again, got to find that happy middle with them as far as they lean a little warm. I'm trying to find that sweet spot where I can get the mids and highs to match that warm, how they come off warm. Just trying to inch it more towards the middle, and I think I got it. I'm still going to work on it. I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be, but I'm definitely going to try my best to get that absolute perfect balance that I'm looking for. But even right now, I like the vocal clarity that I'm getting. I like the crispness of some of the instruments, not some of them, but of the instruments. I like what I'm getting, and I like how deep the bass is. Even though in my in my E40, the E40 song, the fade out cut's too short for me. I just wanted to fade completely away, like ripples in a pond, just completely fade out and then disappear. This one with these, they kind of cut right when you thought it was going to fade out, and I was getting excited. It cut it right there, and I was like, it was like almost like it felt like a letdown. So we got, outside of that, I like the sound on these. I really do. I can't wait to get these guys in a gauntlet. I will be working on that. They got to get in line though, because I got some other ones I need to do first before I do that. I'm not going to do what I did with the Sonys and make them jump the line. I'm not going to do that. Not this time again. I got some of them that some subscribers, some people are waiting patiently for me to do it on gauntlet with, so I got to get those out as soon as I can. We're closing in on the mid-year rankings and stuff. I got a couple months before I got to start filming, shooting those videos. So I want to get as many gauntlet series in as I can before we get to that point. Anyway, I'm going off on a little tangent there. Anyway, I do love the way these sound. I can't wait to compare them against some of my other earbuds here. But as far overall, this is a very, 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 very good upgrade. Well done, Samsung, on upgrading these from the Buds 3 Pro, which I also like, and I will keep them up they're on my nightstand right now on the charger, so they will be regulated to the bedroom. It's like if I want to listen to something and I don't feel like carrying a pair of headphones up, I can just have them on deck and I can just pop them in and watch a show or something like that. But yeah, they would definitely be regulated to that. But yeah, this is a very, really good upgrade, in my opinion. So once I find my sweet spot on these, I think these guys are going to be a very good contender in my ranking. So that wraps up my likes and dislikes of the Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So this has been an unboxing and review of the new Samsung Galaxy Buds4 Pro earbuds. Definitely, if you're a Samsung Knight like I am, you got the phones like the Z Fold 7. If you fooling around with the S26 Ultra that just dropped, S25, S24, you got the Z Fold 6. You got anything of these, you definitely want to go ahead and take a look at these. Grab these up because they work very well with all the they work excellently with all the Samsung products. These are more, again, if you're not in the Samsung ecosystem, but you do have an Android device, you can take a look at these. I would recommend at least giving them a look. Okay, if you're not going to pick them up, that's fine, but at least give them a look. Again, I really wish they would have added LDAC to these so that other devices, Android devices out there that do not, of course they don't have the SSC codec, but they can also get high res audio when they can get switch and use LDAC if they support it. But yeah, I just really. These are really good earbuds. I'm very impressed with them. I just can't. I can't wait to get these guys into a gauntlet. My mind's already spinning on which ones to have them go up against. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. As always, I'll leave links in the description below if you're interested in picking them up. And that will wrap this up. If you like what you see, go and hit the like button. If you want to join me as I continue to do videos like this and others, go and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you're notified when videos like this and others drop. Also, if you want to become a member of the channel, just go and hit the join button. It's a $1.99 a month. It helps me be able to bring products like this to you and provide content on reviews, comparisons, gauntlet series, and the like. All right. Either way, whichever you decide to do, I appreciate it. And I guess I guess I'm done here. So I will go ahead and let you guys go. I appreciate you pulling up, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.